Hello, Goddess, and welcome to this week's Super Sign Sunday Divine Feminine Energy Empowerment Message, where we check in, see where we are, see where we're headed, what we need to know so we can take back our power and step more and more into rising and thriving on this, our self-love empowerment journey, which is a journey of looking for and finding our power through learning to love that which is yourself, all of you, to really reconnect with that power of you within you. Welcome. If you are new to my channel, my name is Rochelle Richard, and I am the founder, CEO, self-love empowerment coach, and yes, healing twin flames goddess over here at Empowerment Experiences. And welcome. Welcome back to all of my returning subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. It is quite surreal to see subscribers go up, to see your comments, to see your likes on the videos. I really, truly appreciate you. I do have more coaching videos that are on the roster, several of them to be recorded. I know we've been doing reading videos a lot these past couple months, but I do have more coaching videos on the way, so stay tuned for those. In the interim, though, you can definitely find what you need to know right here on Super Sign Sunday and Twin Flame Tuesday every other week. So with that, this is our last message for the month of May. And in fact, I'm realizing as I'm recording this, the Sunday, May 28th, is it? That by the time this is recorded, it will be the very beginning of June. The very beginning of June. And this is my uncut emerald that I have. I love it. Love it. Love it very much. To kind of have a nod to the month of May, bid it adieu. And emerald is a stone that's very much used for the heart chakra, and amplifying that love and connecting with that love within yourself and amplifying it. That's how we amplify it, is we must connect to that which is already within us in order to amplify it. You must cultivate and nurture what is already within you in order for it to be amplified. So with that, Goddess, as we are in this space of amplifying the love for ourselves after we've been honoring the amazing in ourselves. If you missed the last Super Sign Sunday check-in, it's one that's very, very vital for the self-love empowerment journey because it's focused on you honoring the amazing in you. And if you are having a challenging time feeling you're amazing and seeing you're amazing, then you got to go back and check that video for sure. I will do my best. I intend to link that at the end of this video. When they pop up at the end, have some rhyme or reason going here. But I will have that linked at the end of this video on screen. That'll be the next video suggested. And you can just tap on that and go to that after you finish this one. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in and see what we are needing to know as we further expand in the amplification and, well, first awareness and amplification of our amazing. And that is recognizing that as you acknowledge this amazing, as you expand yourself in this way, your life is going to become more and more of an adventure. More of an adventure that you enjoy. Because why? You are growing more and more confident in your power of you. When you see the amazing in you, you're not distracted by the lie of the not so amazing in you. Because every facet of you is amazing. It is divine. Okay? And this journey you're on is amazing. This adventure you're on, this soul's adventure. And the more you are connecting with your power, the more you are connecting with that love within you, the more you are connecting with that amazing within you, is the more you are going to embrace and enjoy this adventure for what it was really intended to be. which is your soul's adventure. An adventure of growing, learning, expanding, and ascending for your soul. So let things be different. Let it happen different. And perchance, having a little bit more patience is what is needed at this time as these new awarenesses get integrated within you and you expand more into them. It's probably going to have some spaces of frustration and flustering because the old programs are gonna want to come in and undermine this new space you're stepping into, Goddess, this honoring the amazing in you, right? So the patience is going to come in the space of patience for you as you further step into this space, because what would happen if you feed impatience is that's going to hold you back where you were, where you're just shifting out of. This is where the real work comes in. It is to be actually implementing this wisdom and these new ways of being. You have to put them into practice. And that's going to be challenging because you have the old programs that are so subconscious that now you have to be in a greater state of awareness so that you can have more patience with yourself when, not if, when you perchance fall back into old patterns. So instead of beating yourself up, because this is what happens so often, Goddess, isn't it? Where you go to do something different and it doesn't quite work out how you want, or you forget, you fall back into the old patterns, and next thing you know, the really big pattern that's being shown you because you need to actually pay attention to that one is that you then beat yourself up for not, quote, doing this right, or not getting it done in a quick enough time, or not being perfect, right? We cut ourselves off from all of that growth and expansion because the ego has this obsession of needing things to be exactly the way it wants it to be. But as we're learning here more and more and more on the soul's adventure, that the ego, more often than not, is just a party pooper. She's just a party pooper wanting to keep you away from the life that you are asking for, the dreams that you're asking to come into fruition. So as you are stepping more into this version of you that honors the amazing, that is lining up with what she's been asking for, stepping into this unknown, into this true adventure that you're on, allow yourself to recognize that it's not going to be just a fun little water slide straight down the hill, smooth sailing every step of the way. I mean, all of a sudden I'm thinking that, interestingly enough, I'm using a water slide analogy, and I'm from Kansas, and our front yard had so many bumps and little holes and divots that, that slip and slide, oh my goodness. You got a few bruises, let's just say that. So it wasn't just completely smooth, perfect sailing. But boy, it sure was an adventure every time we took off down that slip and slide now, wasn't it? So look at your life as a bit of a slip and slide. And holy wowzers, the last Twin Flame Tuesday, we had our wave-a-light of the whole wave on wave and going with the flow. And here we are again having this random slip and slide analogy coming of just look at the fun. See the fun that awaits you, that you can have. Just like seeing the amazing in you. Of course, it may be bumpy. There may be bruises at the other end. You may not get off fully unscathed. And you seldom do in this world, because that which scathes you, that which is scathing, that thing, that's what's growing you. That's the contrast. So we get on the other end and we go, okay, maybe we need to shift where that slip and slide is set up, and let's find some areas a little bit smoother so we get just maybe a few less slightly fewer bruises, right? But nevertheless, you embrace the totality of this journey, honoring that regardless of what speed bumps or what bruises you may obtain or acquire along the way, that whatever the journey was to get there and getting to that destination or achieving that goal is always fucking worth it. Worth whatever the unpleasantries of the experience may be. So yeah, you're going to be bruised for a few days. I remember those, right? But you can look at your accomplishment. You can tap into the joy of that adventure, because every time you go down a slip and slide or go across a slip and slide, it's an adventure, right? And this is your life. This is your life. It is an adventure. It is, in essence, a slip and slide. Your soul has just hopped into this world so sure. Whoo! We got this. We are fully supported. The universe is on our side. Everything is always working out for me. But then the ego, right? Remember the ego. She's scared. She's always scared. But that's why you've got to be the one to be pivoting your attention and your focus on where your power is. Where your power is. Well, okay. Which would be in aligning yourself with those miracles, letting the miracles in, having faith that your miracle is on the way. That is where your power is. Already grounding into, and there it is, the slip and slide, already grounding into knowing, oh, this is going to be a great slide. Let's do it. Let's go. You got the water just right. You've checked all the boxes. Especially and most importantly, the adventure box of going, oh yeah, bring on the adventure. I don't know exactly how this is going to go down, but I know overall it's going to be fucking great. It's going to be an adventure. And you're going to laugh, and you're going to love, and you're going to live all along the way. And when you know that it's, and see, this is the thing, right, with the whole slip and slide analogy, when you know that you're still going to enjoy it, even though you're probably going to, again, hit those bumps and you're going to get bruises, it's always worth the challenge to get to those laughters, to get to those miracles, to get to that love, to get to that joy, to experience that adventure. So have the patience knowing that miracles are coming. You just focus on the adventure that is calling you forward, this new space of, oh, well, wow, I've unveiled for myself all this amazing that's in me. And now that I've realized or revealed at a greater capacity for myself what is within me, well, maybe I want to go back to doing some of this. Just like how my poetry in my life, I didn't write poetry for years. And then, of all people, I met my twin flame. He came into my life. And next thing you know, I now write as you know, for every single one of these readings I do. There's a poem, and they just started naturally coming through 2 years ago. And I was just, well, this is interesting, and just went with it. And now look, I'm about to launch a whole YouTube channel that's just all of those shorts, all those poetic expressed shorts for random messages for what you need to know in that moment. Because we know that time is always right now. And any message that finds you when it finds you is supposed to find you in that time. Whether or not it's a measured time of a year ago or a year from now, it's always technically this moment now. So we are going to receive what guidance, what information, what wisdom, what knowing, what support we need right here and now. Yet the ego, as we know, right, likes to worry about, tomorrow. Am I going to have it tomorrow? This is what having faith that everything is already on its way, that you are fully supported on this soul adventure. So let it be. Let's see, do we have anything more from the unicorn oracles here? Ooh, we do. Ooh, and it's a good one. Strength, acknowledging the strength in you that you have to continue in the direction that you're heading. The strength to sustain this new state of being that you have been stepping into, and to maintain that longer so that you actually really truly integrate it and it becomes your new subconscious programming. It puts you in a new space. Everything that you have gone through, you have grown stronger because of it. Some days it may not feel like that, but that's just what your mind is lying to you about, so that it can keep you weak and keep you stuck in your old way of being, that you're not happy there. So it's really allowing yourself to see that you are strong enough to further step into this new version of you, that you are strong enough to sustain and maintain these changes that you have been working so hard to create for yourself, right? You really truly have this strength within you, Goddess, to be patient, to allow yourself to step into this new level of adventure. That's the word. New level of adventure that you're here for, right? You're in this up level space. This new level is where you are. And, oh, that one. Work your light for this new level. What is the divine feminine being asked, to do or to know for working her light and holy? Well, you got a little book here. Cracked opening. It's happened for you, not to you, right? Finding that strength to recognize it and allow yourself to see that everything that has happened, will happen, and does happen is for you, is for you to grow, is for you to grow stronger, to develop greater patience, to align yourself with receiving the miracles along this which is your soul's adventure. Remember, your soul chose to come here to learn, grow, expand, and ascend. So in this time, how can you mother yourself? Right? As you, and especially what just came back around is that awareness of beating yourself up. That is going to definitely be one of the amplified awarenesses right now of really checking yourself when you catch yourself speaking underhandedly against you in any way, undermining yourself in any way. And this comes from the perspective of mothering, because you've got to ask yourself, are these things that I would say to my own child? So why am I saying them to myself? Are these things that I would say to any child? So why am I saying them to myself? We say such negative things to ourselves, as we've been taught, right? The undermining ourselves. And then that is the very thing that keeps us separated from our truly recognizing our strength, truly grounding into that patience and not getting ourselves worked up and creating ourselves more stress, right? Allow for yourself to really be honest with yourself with regards to how deep those layers of talking against or talking bad about yourself or undermining yourself go. Because as we do this self-love empowerment journey, when I remember so many years ago when I first started doing it, and I was among friends, and I would say, hey, let's do this accountability thing, and let's be changing things. And in the midst of a conversation, something would be said, and I would go, oh my goodness. People wouldn't realize that that's really low vibe. That's really detrimental. But yet it's socially acceptable to say so many detrimental and disempowering things. It's just what we've been programmed to. But that's what waking up from in this world is about. It's waking up from the slumber and indoctrination, and really awakening to who you truly are and why you're really in this world. And take that power back. Oh, mercy. Well, of course, boundaries. And right now, these boundaries are coming into play for boundaries with yourself. The boundary that you would need to be creating right now, Goddess, is the boundary with yourself about speaking negatively or detrimentally to and about yourself. No matter what, if you put something in the wrong place, or if you dropped something and you spilled it, or if you were late to something, or something came out of you, I don't care what it is, what mistake you presume to have made. Do not beat yourself up. Because all that does is make a mountain out of a molehill. It makes the wound bigger. So it's time to be establishing better boundaries with yourself. I feel in a lot of ways it's somewhat easier to develop boundaries with other people because, well, they're not you. And you can create actual physical space between you and another. Whereas you yourself, you're always with yourself. So to really be in that space, to find and develop that strength of having the kind of boundaries that you need to have with yourself it's intense, to say the least. It is definitely a practice that needs to be practiced, for sure. And once you have reached this space of, number one, honoring the amazing in you, number two, you're checking the undermining of you, of yourself, right? Which further amplifies the amazing in you, right? And as a result, don't dim to fit in. You're going to be more in this space of going, you're going to feel more eager to shine your light. You're going to have more innate energy to naturally shine in this world, because you're no longer draining your energy over here, feeding the bullshit about not being good enough for whatever reason, late, whatever, all the ways you're beating yourself up and draining your energy. You're focusing more on the amazing side of things, so you're amplifying the amazing in you, which is what's going to attract amazing in your experience and really truly make this adventure more of what your soul came for it to be, because the ego is getting more and more out of the way as you see more and more of the amazing inside of you. So with that, let us ask right quick where our power of surrender then in this. What is this? As we further amplify our amazing, shine our lights, what is it that we need to be surrendering? And of course, we already know. Surrender to miracles. That is what we're doing, Goddess. We are surrendering to miracles right here, right here. Because when you are raising your vibration and you're stepping into that energetic state of being wherein you are aligned with letting miracles in, you then just surrender to them and they flow in more and more and more. But if you don't have faith in them, if you don't know that miracles exist, that miracles happen, then how can you experience them? How will you know that you've experienced a miracle if you don't know in them? So let yourself know in them and surrender to them. Allow for the amazing within you to attract the amazing in this world. So that is exactly what we're on today. Let's, of course, have us a number right quick to close us off for the day. Oh my goodness. So we've already had that with surrender to miracles. Let's set that right there. Put this puppy back here. And drum roll reveal. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to share with you, 818 has been just interestingly very present recently. Angel number 818 meaning for us today. Ooh, endings and fresh beginnings. We love that. That's what we've been talking about is, honoring the amazing in you so that you further step into and amplify that amazing in you. So you're stepping out of those endings that you're done. You're no longer feeding those lies and those negative beliefs. You're no longer continuing to put yourself down and limit yourself and hold yourself back from this new version, this next version of you, this way of life that you've been desiring. So ending a chapter, closing out timelines, healed past life trauma. This is why it's come up during this video today, is to really pivot away from what has been, because otherwise what has been can easily suck you back into it. All right? Because that was your way for so long. So you've got to be the catalyst to keep moving forward. So this time, this number and this time brings changes for which you are prepared. You are very ready for this. Tune into and receive the variety of messages from divine guidance. We have a notification of twin flame incoming. So if you've been in separation with your counterpart, you've been in a non-communication space, perchance in some way, shape, or form, your counterpart is going to make his presence known, whether it's telepathically, because that is definitely coming up a lot, not just in the twin flame connection, but in humanity in general, where you will have a thought about something, but you don't say it, and maybe an hour or less even, who knows, someone you're with or someone you know is going to say or suggest that exact same thing. And you're just going to go, wait a minute, I just had that thought. So this is going to be happening more and more. So you may very well simply get a telepathic message from your counterpart to all the way actual physical notification of some kind, physical communication. All right. Now, I want to disclaimer, as I like to do, be very mindful of any facet of ego attachment that you may be seeing with your counterpart. If you are easily controlled by their actions, then they have power over you. Okay? If they can manipulate your feelings, then they have power over you. So you've got to take that back. You've got to break that ego attachment. So 818 recognizes for us that it has become a time of generating wealth, both focusing on career and material world, and it's weakening physical connection with these attachments, though. Weakening the physical connection of that which has been holding you back from stepping into this space of abundance. The physical connection to the things that hold you in your old beliefs, your old ways of being that have been keeping you from manifesting wealth, manifesting abundance, and what dreams that you have, what things you would like. You want a new boat, whatever it is, you're allowed to want that because there's the adventure that comes with it. And this is what's so challenging about the spiritual community in a lot of ways, is the wanting of material things. It's so often made to be wrong for wanting that. But what so often is failed to be recognized is that say, for instance, the wanting of that boat is because of the adventure that your soul wants to have by having that boat. It's not the having of the boat. And we're talking about water and going with the flow, right? Your soul, that's calling to you. We've gotten so amplified in that ego space in this world that we overlook the underlying intention behind the wanting of something. So that's definitely something to really let yourself look into, is why do you want that? Why? So 818, one last little thing, is harmonious new beginning apart that is leading us back together. So perchance, again, you are in that separation from your counterpart, and perchance you have just begun a separation space with your counterpart. Maybe partial, maybe completely in its entirety, right? But it is recognizing that every separation, every time apart leads to a place where you need to go next. And perchance what that is, which is so often in the twin flame journey, right, is that we have to go away in order to return in the way that we need to be, right? So this is like the shucking floor. We part ways so that we may be cleansed and purified and healed and prepared to come back together in a higher level, more aligned, more empowered state and space of being with our counterparts. And this is what happens as well on this self-love empowerment journey when we take a break from things that once called to us or things that we were once passionate about. We take a break and we will oftentimes, it seems, maybe feel guilty and think that we're throwing something away, but there's this part of you that's just calling you to go there, to go somewhere else, to learn new things, to have this new adventure, to gain wisdom that you would not gain if you stayed where you are. And so what happens is you get called elsewhere on your journey. And then you're there for so long, you gain what you need to gain, and then you're called back around to a familiar place, but you are in a different space. Make sense? So this is what happens. We have new beginnings apart that leads us back together. And that, of course, happens in our twin flame connection too, as I have mentioned. So with that, dear goddess, that is our message for Super Sign Sunday today. To remember that you are on an adventure. Have that patience, knowing that miracles are on the way. All right? That you are strong enough for what you are being called forward toward. You are strong enough to achieve what you're asking for. You are strong enough to recognize that it's happening for you, not to you. Mother yourself right now during this time by being really mindful of how you're speaking with yourself, how you're treating yourself, but especially how you're speaking to and about yourself. Right now, the speaking, the words are really amplified in a big way. Maybe because the whole Gemini energy, we're very talkative, and we talk to ourselves all the time. We're Gemini, and I kind of in a moment sound crazy, but I've been talking to so many Geminis more and more, and this is how we are. This inner part of these two facets of ourselves, right? So it's really learning more and more about yourself, who you are, and embracing that, right? And then developing the boundaries that you need, especially with yourself, to stop beating yourself up, to not make yourself feel bad for being who you are. So don't dim to fit in. Shine your light bright, amplify the miracle of you, so you then are surrendered to more and more miracles coming through. With that, dear Goddess, I remind you that the power is in your hands, because that power is and always, always has been inside of you. Namaste.